Well, President, having a good time.
Yep.
Brian Ross is still with us, having a good time. Brian, finally, has anything developed since at ABC you broke the story about the terror threat and Al-Qaeda coming here, or is here ready with a cell ready to act?
Well, it's hard to know what every day is a new day in the world of intelligence. We have a lot of men and women in this country working very, very hard to spot a handful of people. It's not an easy task. I think there's something, we should feel good about the fact that there is this intelligence, and they are on the outlook for them. So.
I was reading the blog at abcnews.com, and I saw that the one target that is somewhat mentioned talks about government buildings.
Right, because that would be a logical target, a hard target, though. I'm surprised that was the information, but that's what it is, because I think to try to go after the Capitol, the White House, the security there is really astounding. So, more likely it seems, based on London, a softer target, but all the agencies in Washington have been told to try to harden security at their facilities and find ways to guarantee that their personnel are protected.
I want to go back to a couple of weeks ago where you did that propaganda story, what we thought was propaganda of this graduation.
Right.
But now it appears that that may have been realistic, where they were dispatching people to Britain and to the U.S. to forge attacks.
Right. It was described as one of the best propaganda tapes ever made, and it showed what appeared to be a graduation ceremony and various teams being sent off to the U.S., Canada, Great Britain, and Germany. There is concern that reflects a reality, that there are teams on the way.
Brian, it would certainly be better if we had more of a serious hit on Al-Qaeda and the Taliban in Pakistan, because that is where they're flourishing today.
Correct, and that is the great frustration at the White House at the highest levels, that they just cannot seem to crack that. And I was talking with Pakistani officials yesterday, their ambassador to Washington, and he says, well, we're doing a lot, but still not enough. This is a real no man's land, and it's not easy for the Pakistani military to go in there, and the U.S. has not been allowed to go in there, so it ends up being a true safe haven, which is not good for them to have. That gives them the ability to communicate, to raise money, to train. All the things that were happening 6-7 years ago in Afghanistan now appear to be happening in this tribal area of Pakistan.
All right, Brian Ross, we thank you very much for walking across the street over from ABC News to tell us what you know.
Glad to be here.
And plus, we don't have to give him a car. Is that correct, Steve?
Yeah, a yellow one.
Just,
All right, Brian, thank you.
You bet.
All right.